panelists. What you are seeing in Rivers State is just a clear demonstration of rascality and further extension of state capture at the state level by an individual who is projecting himself as a demigod. An individual who thinks he owns Rivers State. An individual who thinks that everybody in Rivers State should bow to him and worship him as their Lord and Savior. And this is only happening with the aid of the government at the center because of their own personal interests. And so they are aiding him to create this anarchy in the state of Rivers State, using all manner of tactics, all manner of strategy to destabilize the state. And sadly, Nigerians, elders of Rivers State, are sitting back and looking at this happening. I want to ask, where are the likes of Peter Odili? Why have they not come out to make a categorical statement? Why are they keeping quiet? And the only thing you see them do is maybe they just show up in one event without condemning the grandstanding of Nyesom Wike in Rivers State. He has virtually grounded that state to a halt. No progress. He creates problem using his so-called boys to create this problem. And even in his utterances, when he comes out to speak, you see the kind of thing that is coming out of Wike, and you yourself, is this supposed to be a public officer? So I am not surprised in what is going on in Rivers State, because the government as the center are bent on taking over Rivers State by all means, either by hook or by crook. And they have never minced their word in declaring this. And the only person they can use to achieve this is Nyesom Wike, who is the former governor. We have seen former governors who have finished their tenure and hand over to their successor. They've never created this kind of problem. Before Wike, there were other governors. They never created this kind of political crisis that Wike has created in Rivers State. Is it that those people didn't have structure? Of course they had structure. They knew that once you are out of government as a governor, the structure is no longer available for you. Because what is a convention in Nigeria is that usually the governor, the sitting governor, becomes the leader of the party in the state. So why is this different? The fact that you brought somebody, an anointed candidate, and impose him on the people of Rivers State does not mean that person should be your houseboy. You must respect the office of a governor. Because when you were there, nobody could dare do what you are doing to Fubara to you. So this is where we are as a nation. You see all these things happening. By the way, the local government election we're talking about, before the judgment of the Supreme Court, you realize that there were about 22 states that never had a democratically elected local government in place. But right from that moment from now, about 10 states had conducted local government election using the same voters register of 2023 election that INEC is now claiming they have not updated or they have not released it to? How come they were released to other states? Why is Rivers State different? So these are some of the antics that you are seeing going on, happening, the rascality happening in the city of Port Harcourt and Rivers State as a whole, because of somebody's personal interest. So, and you see them jumping from one court to the other, trying to acquire judgment. And you ask yourself, these are the same judges who are bringing judiciary to disrepute. Because when a judge will get up and issue a judgment that contradicts the Constitution, what do you call that? Isn't that obvious? Do you need a soothsayer to tell you that there is something happening somewhere? As somebody is corrupt? By their fruit you shall know them. Any judge that brings out a judgment, give an order, when you weigh that order, you will know where it's coming from. So these are the problems we have. And your president is keeping quiet because it benefits him. He knows that all the crisis in Rivers State is for his benefit. And of course, you saw the way he openly embraced the 27 defected members. After he had done all that, their 8-point agenda, reconciliation, this thing that they did in Abuja, of course, he quietly avoided the status of those people and said, oh, what do you expect? As a leader of APC, of course, he will welcome them with an open hand, rather than telling them to go back to where they came from. So because all of this is to his benefit and his party, so he's keeping quiet, allowing Wike to run riot in the state, destroying the fabrics of democracy in that state. This is what we are. And I want to call on all Rivers people to rise up and resist this tyranny in the form of Nyesom Wike's attitude and his cohort. Let them resist it and support the government of the day, even if I'm not a fan of Fubara, because we know what they did in 2023 election. But because the court has affirmed him as the duly elected governor of the state, so be it. So the people of Rivers State should join up, support him, give him all the support that he needs to be able to run the state and give good governance to the people of Rivers State as a whole. That will be my take on this. Thank you.
I thank you very much, Chidi. While we go to our next person who wishes to give us also update on this very what is happening in Rivers.
And, the LG elections that has gone up in different areas in Nigeria, how shame it is. Let's take a commentary about what transpired in court between the INEC people and, of course, when the court stopped them, being INEC, from releasing this very particular voters register. Let's take a listen to that commentary, then we'll come back and have further discussion on this.
High Court in Abuja was instituted by the All Progressives Congress APC, describing the action of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission RCEC as being in breach of the Electoral Act, which provides for 90-day notice before a date is announced. They therefore prayed the court to stall the conduct of the election until lawful action is taken. And the court, sometime in July, heeded the prayers and barred Nigeria's electoral body INEC from releasing the voter register to the state electoral body. After hearing all arguments from all parties in the suit, including INEC, Peter Lifu, the Federal High Court judge presiding over the matter, agreed that there's been a breach of the Electoral Act. He therefore says the 90-day notice must be issued before a date for the local government polls is set, meaning October 5th is no longer feasible.
The court held that INEC, that is the first defendant, is bound to ensure that the National Register of Voters that includes Rivers State must be updated, and that same can only be released 90 days before the conduct of the elections. And also very fundamental from the judgment of the court is that the court struck down provisions of the Rivers State Electoral Law, Section 60 of that law that seeks to oust the jurisdiction of the court from depriving aggrieved parties from exercising their constitutional rights before the court. The implication of the judgment of the court is that the elections cannot be conducted on the 5th of October except the condition precedents are provided by the Constitution and the Electoral Act is complied with.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State APC had applied to withdraw the lawsuit, insisting it never got the approval of the leadership.
For our own part, we came as the Rivers State chapter of the APC to state that the persons who brought the matter to court were not the proper persons. And we asked, because the Rivers State chapter of the APC had already briefed us to withdraw this matter, that it has no consent of the real party members of the Rivers State chapter, on behalf of whom it was purportedly filed. So, but the judge has ruled otherwise, so I already have the instruction of my clients that this matter be tested further on appeal.
With two courts of coordinate jurisdiction giving conflicting judgments on the Rivers local government elections, is now left for the Court of Appeal to make the picture more clearer on which of the decisions should be acted on.
Okay, conflicting judgments coming from different courts to stop INEC from releasing voters' register. But Mr. Tony, let me get to you now. It seems like nothing will stop the October 5th local government elections in Rivers State.
I hope so, because I can't fathom a reason why they should not hold that election, just like other states are doing after the Supreme Court's judgment. The fact of the matter is, we all know why it is so. It is what it is. That the former governor, Nyesom Wike, is hell-bent on frustrating his political godson. He wants to be in charge, as we all know, in control. And it's mind-boggling. While this guy thinks he's an untouchable God, small capital G, he's making all stuff.
Mr. Tony, sorry to interject. I just remember something to ask you. You know, the other time we were complaining
about government elections held in Enugu State and how it was a sham. And I don't know if they used the INEC register, that is the voter register. Did they use that over there? Because in certain states, like Anambra State, I don't think that voters register was even used.
I think they probably used the 2023 printout. It's printout they have. Because when I came in to vote, they had to go to my polling booth to find my name. It's like a photocopy of voters list. Yeah. So they did that. But eventually, they abandoned the use of voters card. If you come in, they know you, they will just tear the ballot sheet and give to you. And you see people voting multiple times. I said, why? And the other party was asking the officials to show them the result sheets. And they refused to do that. And it kind of got me annoyed. I said, guys, this is the basic requirement, that you have to have the original result sheet with you when you come to the polls. Why are you not showing it to the other parties so that they will be confident that what you guys are doing is credible? And they said, well, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I said, coming when? So I said, this is the way you guys used to rig elections, because it's pure rigging. It is. When you hide the result sheet, is the first stage in the rigging process. So I had to challenge them there, and eventually caught on me. I said, well, it's all right. I went and talked to the police, DPO, and we exchanged views. I told him, well, I'm not here to disrupt the election, but there's a fundamental process that these people should abide by. Show us the result sheet, the original result sheets, where you are going to record the results. Well, to cut the whole story short, I witnessed people voting multiple times, and there was nothing anybody could do. Because if you try to dispute that, the police will tell you you are disrupting the electoral process. You are causing trouble. So the whole thing was a sham.
Okay. Now, getting back to Rivers State, there's one of
the APP party in Rivers State, which of course is another de facto PDP in Rivers State, as you know. I see him spitting fire. Let's take a listen to what he said, then we'll come back and then you can tell us more on what you've seen on this video.
National and state party officials called an emergency closed-door meeting at the APP Secretariat shortly after Justice Peter Lifu delivered his judgment in Abuja. They cited conflicting judgments from the same court in cases related to the political crisis in Rivers State. They also accused the court of infractions on the RESEC law and the Electoral Act in trying to stop the local government election. But more importantly, the party argues that an earlier State High Court judgment last month empowers the State Electoral Commission to use the voter register compiled by INEC for the 2023 general election.
Justice Igwe acknowledged that INEC register already delivered to RESEC for the conduct of election was done correctly and that the election should be conducted. In obedience to this order, RESEC has been doing its best to conduct free, fair, and credible election. Justice Lifu's judgment, as described as judicial rascality, cannot override the judgment of Rivers State High Court, being a court of coordinate jurisdiction.
In spite of the political twists and turns in the build-up to the local government election, the Action People's Party expects a large turnout of voters.
The local government election fixed for October 5th, 2024 must hold in accordance with RESEC timetable, the Supreme Court judgment, and the judgment of Rivers State High Court. APP, as a political party, calls on its teaming members to come out on Saturday and disregard whatever that came out from Justice Peter Lifu's Court of Federal High Court Abuja, as that amounts to nothing.
With the leadership tussle in the PDP and APC leading to uncertainty about their participation.
I'm coming back, please. Okay, so we have heard that is coming from the people of APP. So Tony, back to you. Can you tell us what you said? They are spitting fire APP. They have taken over the state structure, and it seems like they are really the party to beat in Rivers State. And also look at it again from Fubara's broadcast of today, Mr. Tony.
Yeah, I don't expect him to do less than what other governors are doing across the country. They put in their own guys everywhere, both the chairmanship and the councillors. Whatever party is in control wins everything. So he's supposed to do the same thing. And as a matter of fact, that is a way for him to challenge Wike. Okay, Wike, have the PDP structure you wanted. Now let me go and create my own structure. So the guy is correct in whatever he's doing. And the funny thing is that he's giving the citizens of Rivers State 2 days public holidays. 2 days. I don't see any other governor do that. And that's, I think, in my own opinion, means that he wants people to come from wherever they are to come and vote, which is also good. And as for the war going on between Fubara and Wike, it started like a tit for tat. I think now it's a full-blown conflict, political war, because Wike is doing everything possible. Look at the PDP guys going to demonstrate in front of the governor's secretariat. So Fubara has to fight his fight. He has to do whatever is necessary for him to gain control of the state. And nobody should fault him for doing that. You know, so this is where we are. Wike and the federal government, the hijackers of our state government, are hell-bent on imposing APC government across Nigeria. You remember, the last election, Labour Party actually won Rivers State. But what happened with INEC? They did the same thing, the same routine, forged the results, deducted from LP, added to APC's numbers, and so on and so forth. The same thing they did in Edo State. So we have a complete state capture in this country, both from local government, state, and federal. And the APC, the government of the day, are hell-bent
Okay, I think we lost the audio of Mr. Tony right there, and we lost the audio of Mr. Tony.
But let me get to Kini before we can get back to Tony. Mr. Kini, can you tell us your thoughts? Can you just a moment, Mr. Tony? Yeah, I was just asking. We lost you just a moment.
And I wanted to ask Mr.
Sorry,
Kini,
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, please round up.
Yeah.
Okay, go, Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So Fubara has to do what he has to do. Get his state structured and run like a democratic state. Otherwise, what I'm seeing is a total bloodshed come 2027 in Rivers State if he doesn't do what he has to do to take care of Wike once and for all, whichever means he can use to do that, because that guy is of no good. He's all just to disrupt and destroy and make sure APC wins Rivers State. And I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, Mr. Tony, but recall that this is not really about
a federal might. This has to deal with Mr. Tony, which Mr. Bassi talked about the last time. It is not just about Wike and Fubara feud that is going on. It has to do with the man who runs the country, which is Chief Bola Tinubu. If Chief Bola Tinubu wants a peace in Rivers State, of course they are going to have peace. But he chose to that line of action, which probably I think is because of 2027.
Of course, because he wants to win Rivers State. So it is to his own benefit to allow Wike continue doing what he's doing in order to make sure that he wins Rivers State come 2027. Yeah, but Wike is the front man he is using to try to actualize his goals. We all know that. So and the last point I want to make is this: why is PDP? I think Atiku is supposed to be the leader of PDP as the last contestant in the presidential election. Why is it that they can't get grips of this guy and deal with his problems once and for all? Why is everybody scared of Wike? Does he have some voodoo or magic wand he's using on people to just? I don't understand that.
I doubt Mr. Tony. It's still the same thing about the federal mind. But once again, thank you very much for your observations, your points. I share your concern on that issue of voodoo, not just
between Fubara and Wike, but of course, it seems to be like a cloud in Rivers State. Mr. Bassi, please, I just want you to use 1 minute to tell us about the closure of the roads in Rivers State happening right now. And I heard that there is like a gridlock that Governor Fubara has ordered that no vehicular activity, coming in and leaving the state as at this very time. Can you please tell us what your reports coming out from there is suggesting?
Well, thank you so much once again. What you are just seeing in Rivers State as we speak is a demonstration of lawlessness at the highest level. And the governor have chosen to fight it rough. And that's why you see what is happening. Because to some extent, the security agencies are not cooperating. They are not working with him. Wike has emasculated the entire structure in the state, and he wants to have full control. And so the only way the governor can fight back is to establish his authority as the governor of the state, using his office and to do the in a local parlance, fight ruffle. And that's what you are seeing happening. And at the end of the day, who are the people suffering? The masses. The people of ordinary people of Rivers State are the one at the receiving end. The innocent business people. Imagine shutting down a state for 2 days. You know what that means in the economy? We have private individuals who are doing their private businesses. That's going to affect their businesses. So this is what one stupid, foolish individual's motive and desire and ambition can bring to an entire state. And that's what you are seeing playing out in the city of Rivers State and Port Harcourt, in the city of Port Harcourt and Rivers State in a whole. I see some of those pictorial I see in many local government where people were protesting. What are they protesting for? Is it that they don't want the local government administration to happen in the state? The Supreme Court had given an order. Why should a lower court go against the judgment of the Supreme Court? That is the genesis of the chaos that you are seeing in the River State. And so, if anything happens, that judge that issued that order and the chief judge of Federal Capital Territory should be held responsible, because they are the one who issue all this lawless and foolish judgment. I must put it that way, that is going to cause through the state into confusion. So they must be held responsible for some of these things that are happening. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Kini, and of course, thank you, Mr. Tony. You guys have always been
to share your concerns across what is happening in Nigeria. Thank you so much for being with us today. And also for you viewers, thank you so much for being out there, active citizens, Obedience worldwide. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. And of course, please, the audio at the beginning of the video was actually, there has some glitch on the audio, and I believe that we'll bring back that tomorrow about the lies of Chief Bola Tinubu. Until tomorrow, when we come back again. Thanks for watching.